Warning, we have a severe geomagnetic storm that is on its way tonight, tomorrow, the next day. The energy is going to be off the charts. This is breaking news. Hello to all my new followers, and if you don't know who I am, my name is Sarah Starr. I report on space weather. I am also a Galactic Federation ambassador for the alien disclosure coming in the next 10 years. I have information that you need to know. This is your time to subscribe. Yesterday, we reached high solar levels in our solar activity again. We had two M-class flares. The major X9 solar flare that erupted from the sun sent us into a Type 2 and a Type 4 radio sweep with a Castelli U radio signature. It also was associated with a solar flux unit 10 flare of 3500. Right before we had the record-breaking X9 flare, we also had an X7.1. This is what you see in this video. The first one disrupting us, the second one increasing the energy. Back-to-back CMEs are going to hit the Earth. We are going to see strong and severe geomagnetic storm levels. You will be able to see an aurora even in high-latitude southern states. We also had multiple solar flare eruptions from the northeastern and the northwestern quadrant of our sun. These are likely to be some sympathetic events. In addition, we had two other CMEs, which is a coronal mass ejection. Basically, when plasma is ejected from the sun, this erupted from the southwestern quadrant. It is associated with those two M-class flares. We have an arrival of those on the 7th. So as you can see, this is the first X-class flare. This is the third largest solar flare that we have had in solar cycle 25. It is going to hit us here today. It is going to grow stronger. It's going to dip down again, and then we're going to be hit with this one. Tomorrow are these severe storms, so you will be able to see a beautiful aurora. Make sure that you tag me in any of those videos. Love to see that stuff. But go outside this weekend because the storm is going to be very large, very severe. There will be physical symptoms that are associated with that. I have a video pinned on my page about the ascension symptoms and how you will be affected. You may feel drained, you may have a headache, you may feel zooming all around. Your body may be achy, you need to increase your water intake. When you do this, it kind of like grounds out the symptoms of it, so it'll lessen it. Dehydration sets in very quickly. Make sure you're hydrating. Also, make sure that you are grounding out the extensive energy that is coming in to balance yourself out, because it's going to persist the next day as well. So we have a very large week of solar flares and CMEs that are heading our way. On the 7th, we're also going to see an increase. Plus, we have a 50% chance of having more X-class flares, which means more geomagnetic storms. Puts a strain on our power grid. You're going to have communication issues. Your internet is not going to work properly. That's why you see all of these things in the news about internet outages. This cannot take it. Our power grid is not ready. It's very primitive. Our solar winds are going to increase, meaning the geomagnetic storm is going to increase. The energy is going to increase. Nominal levels right now between 360 kilometers per second before it rises. So expect something low and slow prior to the shock arrival. When the shock arrival happens, expect it to arrive later on the 4th today. Today is going to be from that first CME impact. The next one, we're going to have a little bit of a dip, kind of nominal levels, not really, because it's going to increase even further. Tomorrow is going to be the highest chance and the most energy coming in, and it's going to continue as we get into the 6th. Now, this has not happened for such an extensive amount of time, especially with the M-class flare that we're having on top of this arriving on the 7th. And we have a 50% for these X-class flares to continue. It is not normal, let me tell you. It's not normal. 50% proton level as well, slipping us into solar radiation storms, which can linger for days. Solar protons are associated with this. They hold mass. They're going to make you feel cognitively and physically off. And this is the aurora forecast for tonight, and it may grow stronger. Tomorrow, exact same thing. Yet again, it may grow stronger. You know it's a big deal when my tiny little town is talking about the aurora being seen, and I'm sure yours is as well. But of course, you hear it from me first. And here's a look at our sun today. We have 9 sunspots on our sun. A lot of them are very active. We're going to take a look at 3842 that gave us those two X-class flares, record-breaking. This is what that region looks like today. Note a 40% chance only from this region specifically to have an X-class flare. As you can see, why highly magnetically complex, increasing in size, proton level 40% for this region. Multiple M-class flares from this region, we have a high chance of having another X-class flare. 3 X-class flares from this region. Is it possible? Of course it is. Now let's look at 3844 right here. This is growing in size. This has grown in size by a lot. As you can see, 350 in size. Additional accounting for this. Beta, delta, and gamma range, 30% chance of having an X-class flare from here, especially as it is growing. And we have a 30% chance of slipping into those solar radiation storms due to the proton level. Let's look at one more region, 3848 right here. This region is also growing in size. Same thing, beta, delta, and gamma configuration, making this very complex. It is growing in the sunspots. It's a 10% chance of having an X-class flare from here, especially as it grows. As it grows and we have a lot of time on the sun with this region, we can see these probabilities increasing. 10% proton level for here, so we definitely can slip into those solar radiation storms, which don't feel wonderful. So much energy going on this whole weekend. Make sure you're going outside. Go see the aurora. There will be plenty others. Yes, there will, especially as we go through this solar maximum period. Now, let's talk about the energy today, because we also get into astrology, because it has everything to do with how you feel and what you experience within your life. So we're still in Libra energy today. We will be switching into Scorpio here momentarily. Expect a bumpy start of your day. However, the moon is going to transition into the Scorpio energy. It's going to be hard to remain in balance. You also may feel a little bit pessimistic today. Once the moon goes into Scorpio, we're going to see and feel a lot calmer. We are going to feel a little bit more stable. However, unexpected events can definitely test your patience today. Make sure you don't fall into that trap. Make sure you are not reacting. So be mindful of your triggers today. They are really going to come at you. Try to approach challenges with a new perspective. Expect delays today, because this is going to be the start of information that we will be able to kind of overcome. It's going to help us overcome a lot of things with new responses and with new reactions. So yet again, Libra trying to find balance, Scorpio sending us right through it, but bringing a little bit of calmness, a little bit of stability. We shall see. Let me know in the comments how this is affecting you. Let me know if you are having these physical symptoms. Are you having anxiety? Are you having heart palpitations? Are you not able to go to sleep? Do you feel drained? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you have trigger points that are really kind of like messing with you because you feel on edge? Or do you feel calm and collected? Are you able to raise your frequency enough where you're not affected by the higher frequential energy that is coming in? You have to match that. Or use yourself as a grounding rod, ground that into the ground. Bare feet, especially because you are bioelectric and you need to have a kind of like baseline current that can go into the ground. When you do that, the energy will definitely balance itself out. Be around water, drink your water. Dehydration is no joke. Yet again, let me know in the comments how you're feeling. Love ya.